Good morning and welcome to the 10th day of my Bavarian trip. Just checked out of my hotel here in Ingolstadt, and what a lovely hotel it was as well, and the owners were absolutely charming. Couldn't have made me more welcome. What a fantastic find of a hotel, and I can't wait to stay there again. And it's a lovely day here in Ingolstadt. Weather forecast says it should be chucking it down with rain. I'm glad the forecast is wrong, and I hope this weather lasts all day, because I'm off to Nuremberg, a city that I visited on several occasions, including a day trip which I made earlier this year from London. So come with me as I explore Nuremberg on the 10th day of my Bavarian trip. Nuremberg. Just as I've arrived, it's starting to rain. Oh dear. So difficult to film in the rain. But I came here on the ice train. They are cool. €29.90 for a single ticket from Ingolstadt to Nuremberg. I think that's expensive, but I hear that the ice trains are expensive. So have you travelled on an ice train in Germany? Are they expensive? Leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know, because if so, I'll avoid them. But they are fun and they do look good going through the stations. But this is a lovely old round tower here. Really is absolutely beautiful. I think this is the Königstor. I'm not sure. It's very impressive. Go through the entrance gate here into what looks like a little Bavarian village. Really rather nice. Lots of little local shops selling all sorts of things. Really rather nice. Absolutely delightful. Lots of handmade crafts in the window of this shop. Just a shame that it's raining, because this is definitely somewhere to come on a sunny day and walk around the shops. I don't really want to walk around anywhere now, it's raining. Let's go through this gateway here. This is the Frauentor. And as I walk through the exit here, the gate to the old city walls. City walls date from around 1400, and this bridge crosses the moat. They started building the moat at around 1430 to 1452. It's a huge defensive structure around the town. Yes, it never contained any water. I guess it was so wide and so deep as to deter anybody from attacking the city. But I'll take a little walk around now, around the outside of the walls of the city, and see what we can discover here in Nuremberg on the south side, and eventually head up to St. Lorenz Church. It's a big church on the south side of the Pegnitz River. St. Sebalda's Church is the big church on the north side of the river, and I featured that church in my day trip to Nuremberg some months ago. And hopefully it's going to stop raining. That would be nice. I thought I'd take a walk down inside the moat. Gets me out of the way of the traffic. The noise from up the top really was quite deafening. But you can see here, just walking through the moat, just how wide and how deep it was, and probably how useful it was as a defensive structure. You see on the right hand side where perhaps two former entrance gates might have been. Looks there's some blocked up doorways there, and also some of the marks on the brickwork, stonework left over from the Second World War. And there's quite a lot of damage which still remains visible from the Second World War. The area is quite nice down here, it's quite peaceful. Just up ahead is another of the entrance gates here into the old city of Nuremberg, and also the Germanisches National Museum as well. So let's head up there and see what else we can discover here in Nuremberg. The street level and back to the noise, and it's still not raining. The rain has held off for a while, which is a real bonus. But this is the Weisserturm, or the Carthusian Gate, named after a Carthusian monastery which used to be here, founded back in 1380 and dissolved in 1552. There's a lovely section of city wall here. Absolutely fantastic looking at that. But just ahead is going towards the museum is the Street of Human Rights. As I walk through the arch, I see a row of columns. Now I'm going to come back to those in a moment because I want to walk down the street to my right. Lovely old cobbled street here, and a fantastic section of city wall. It really is absolutely incredible, this section. It's probably one of the better sections here within the city. And again, there's so much damage on the outside that still remains from the Second World War. But back in medieval times, this was a red light area. The first reference to prostitution was back in 1381. That was in the ruined refuges that used to be here. But it's not anymore. I think it did have a reputation 100 or so years ago, but today it's a very respectable area of the city. It's absolutely beautiful looking at the old buildings and the impressive section of wall. But I'll go back to that street with the columns in because this is really rather interesting. It's called the Gasse, or the Street of Human Rights, and there are 27 concrete pillars which line the centre of the street. Each one is about 8 metres tall, also about 30 feet, and each one has an inscription, and it's described with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and they're in quite a few different languages. It's really interesting to see these, and it's nice that people's human rights are remembered in a street like this. It really is rather nice, and it leads down to the Germanisches National Museum as well, which is my next visit, next place I'm going to go. So I'm going to go in there and have a look, and then see what else we can discover in Nuremberg on the way up to St. Lorenz Church. What a fantastic museum, and there is so much on display there. Fantastic rooms, huge galleries, musical instruments, and arms and armour. It's just incredible in there, and an old chapel as well. Absolutely beautiful. But I'm going to head on now down towards one of the other entrance posterns into the city, see what I can discover down there, and then head on up towards St. Lorenz Church, which is the big church here on the south side of the Pegnitz River. And the rain has still held off, which is amazing. So yeah, let's hope it continues. Down to Jacobplatz, and the church behind me is the church of St. Jacob, or St. James. Now the church was founded on the 20th of February 1209 by Otto IV, the Holy Roman Emperor. Otto spent most of his early life in England and France and was a follower of Richard the Lionheart, and it was Richard who made him Count of Poitou in 1196. But the other church behind me, there we go, one with an impressive dome, is the St. Elizabeth's Church. That's the Catholic church. And it was dedicated to Elizabeth of Hungary, who died aged 24 in 1231. There's been a small chapel here since the year 1235, but the current church was built between 1785 and 1803. And it's absolutely beautiful inside. Interior of the dome really is incredible. I've just been in and had a look. Yeah, well worth visiting if you're in this part of Nuremberg. It really is beautiful. But what I've come to see is the tower, which is straight ahead of me. This tower is called the Weisserturm, or the White Tower. Not sure why it's called the White Tower. Maybe when it was built it may have been white, but it dates from 1250, and by looking at the top of the tower it's been repaired over the years. But what's interesting about this tower is it's also the entrance into an underground station, which is rather fun. The entrance station behind me. Now, is this the best entrance to an underground station? Leave your comment in the comment section below if you know of a better one. What I do know is that the statue behind me, this fountain, is absolutely amazing. It's called the merry-go-round fountain. Plots the course of marriage from dating until death. It's portraying the poems by Hans Sachs, called Bittersweet Married Life. And it was completed in 1981 by the artist Jürgen Weber. And it's absolutely amazing. Interesting looking at that fountain. It's quite unusual, very elaborate. It must have cost a fortune to install, but it's absolutely fantastic to look at. And there's another one just here. This is the Tugendbrunnen, or the Virtue Fountain, and each of the little fountains, which are squirting water out of their tits, represents faith, hope, charity, courage, temperance and patience. And it's absolutely lovely to look at. There's a few spots of rain in the air, or is it the splashes from the fountain? It's a few spots of rain in the air, I think. But yeah, it's lovely to see that. But I'm here at the Church of St. Lawrence, or Saint Lorenz. The church was founded here in 1250. It wasn't completed until the year 1477. And it's absolutely fantastic looking up at the church. St. Lorenz was one of the 7 deacons of Rome who was martyred for his faith under Pope Sixtus II. He was sentenced by the Emperor Valerian to death in the year 258. He died on a gridiron, which is not a very pleasant way to die at all. But look, it looks fantastic from the outside. So let's go inside and take a look. Beautiful church it was inside. Unlike so many churches in Germany, interior architecture was just wonderful. I did like seeing the stained glass window to the martyr of St. Lorenz. Very interesting to see that. And this is such a beautiful area of Nuremberg. It's hard to imagine that it was all destroyed after the Second World War. But this is where I end this video. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow my journey, because there's plenty more to come and plenty more videos on my channel if you're a new subscriber. So we'll see you tomorrow for another adventure here in Nuremberg.